Alpena County Board of Commissioners meeting to order. I see Laura Hoffman here for a prayer. See. Okay. Guess we'll move on to the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Here.
Commissioner Ludlow,
Here.
Commissioner Bray, here, Commissioner Fournier, here, Commissioner Britton,
Here.
Commissioner Konashevsky,
Here.
Commissioner Kozlowski.
Here. Okay, we have the agenda. Did you say there was anything you needed to change on that?
Chairman, if we could just add the pool budget adjustments as number 4 under me.
Take that in.
Make a motion, we adopt the agenda with the additions.
I support.
A motion and support. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion passed. Okay. So we got public comment. Just want to mention something here before we go into public comment. So just so everyone is, I know in the past we've had a couple meetings. So when people come up to the podium, just state your name. And during public comment, we need to focus our comments to the board, not to the general public here. Other than that, I'd say, and you got 3 minutes. Other than that, like I said, I think we just need to make sure, because that's how we get the meeting out of control when we start engaging with the public. So please keep your comments directed towards the board. And I'm pretty sure we're not going to be responding during public comment. Okay. So the first one I got is Connie Lucas.
Travis, thank you for catching up with the emails. I appreciate it. And also thank you for your attendance and communication at the special fair board meeting. Well done. Your yearly support of the 4-H market sale does not go unnoticed. Thank you again. Chairman Kozlowski, I murdered your name. Thank you for following the Friends of the Alpena County Fairgrounds Facebook page and respectfully responding to posts and questions. I would like to meet soon to look at the rental documents and why there's only one electrical meter, I believe, at the whole fairgrounds. I will bring someone with me that would like to look at the situation too. Maybe we can help. Also, thanks to Ian Kemp for your time traveling from Lapeer County. I have learned a lot from you and your experience in a situation such as ours. I'm hoping that our Alpena County commissioners have listened to an expert in situations such as this. And I'm very thankful to Tricia Udell for her dedication to enlightening the community to the value of the publicly owned Alpena County Fairgrounds. The possibilities are endless with the help of the county commissioners, ending the decades-long naysayers to improve the gem of the city, Alpena County Fairgrounds. The fairgrounds is more. Follow the Friends of Alpena County Fairgrounds on Facebook. It's not used only 1 week a year. This is an excerpt from a passionate perspective on the fairgrounds. The fairgrounds are not just land. They are a living part of Alpena's identity. Protecting the fairgrounds means protecting our history, our services, our gathering spaces, and the traditions that bind us together. I'm hoping to have an opportunity to host the commissioners and community leaders to a picnic-style lunch with area youth at the start of the 152nd Alpena County Fair 2026. Details to come closer to August. Please vote no on the Blackwater NE contract. Honor the fair and the grounds it was gifted in 1901. Support the community to do a facelift and renovations to our public property. The county inherited this magnificent property for a 10-day minimum yearly agriculture event. Surely the gifter would want more agriculture-related events and allow for other activities to be held there and remain open for public use. This Commissioner Board can go down in history allowing the Agriculture Society to prosper or lose a piece of history, our Alpena County Fairgrounds, to fast lease deals with an LLC with no track record. Vote no on this contract with Blackwater NE. Thank you.
You. For sure. Thank you.
Hi there. I've never really followed county government before, especially Adele, in case you didn't know, sorry about that. But I believe that voting for my commissioner meant that I was being represented and they would act in the best interest of our county. Now, I did teach social studies for 25 years, so I know a little bit about the process. We have 8 districts in our county. Within those districts, people are called to serve, that's you folks, and then you're elected. And your job is to look out for us, the constituents, and do research and get information and make the best decision for our county. They're all very busy people and they can't do it all, so they hire a county administrator. And that person's a fact finder, an information gatherer, someone who looks historically what has happened in the past. And it's really an important part. It's an important job. So I understand the commissioners get this like funnel of information and the county administrator puts the funnel of information that the commissioners receive. It's your duty as the commissioner's job to complete due diligence and research topics, ask questions, and base their voting on what is best for the district and the constituents. Now, it would be really easy to become complacent. That means lazy in a way and just accept whatever the administrator information is given to you and just vote on what is represented. Now, I'm worried that this is happening here. Okay, we have somewhat lazy commissioners. Why do I feel this way? At the last couple meetings, when topics are brought up, let's just take the opioid settlement, for instance, only 2 commissioners asked questions and then it was tabled. Were the rest of you ready to vote that through without questioning it? It wouldn't take someone long in the administrator position to really get to know the commissioners and kind of get a reading on how things are going to happen and how they're going to vote. In a sense, what goes into the funnel could be manipulated or controlled so that the result is in favor of what the administrator wants. Now, I don't know this is happening. I don't know anybody in particular and personal here, but some things have happened really recently that have made me wonder if this is the case. Example 1. Okay, Administrator 101 tells me that if something's on the agenda, that should have every piece of information gathered so they're able to competently talk about that topic. Any questions that are brought up by the commissioners at that time should be answered. Example, at the last meeting, Connor Shesky asked how much money is made in winter storage at the fairgrounds, and the response given is, we don't know that off the top of our head. Why? You have a computer. You should be able to move a tab, know everything there is to know about the fairgrounds. When is that answer going to be given? Outside a public meeting when constituents won't hear the answer? I don't like that. Doesn't make sense to me. That's controlling what the public knows about the topic. Second, I don't like how commissioners, when during public comment, they do things like eye rolling and making smirks and people aren't even looking at who is talking during that time. It's very unprofessional. It makes you wonder, why are you so dismissive, blatantly rude in public comments? An open mind approach is missing from some commissioners. I have to wonder, is there some kind of personal gain going on with this deal, a professional gain I don't know about?
Adele, your time's up.
Oh, I'm back. I got 3 more minutes in a second. Thanks.
Thank you.
Very good. And did somebody else do that?
Hi, my name is Stephanie Lacrosse, and I'm here today to speak about the Blackwater contract at the fairgrounds. These past few weeks have proven that this contract is not intended to help sustain, grow, or support any group that currently uses the fairgrounds. I have recently seen on a Facebook post that Horses on the Rise have moved to Lincoln for the summer. Last I checked, that is Alcona County. I hear that the group Remembering Our Children were told that they cannot use the fairgrounds this year due to it being under contract. Well, that's funny. I did not think that that was finalized yet. The Scouts have already moved their Rainbow Bridge from the grounds that it called home. I'm still waiting to hear about the groups like Relay for Life. Will they be able to have their event on the grounds this year? There's so many unknowns for the 4-H community, Fair Board, and Animal Control. This is not working with the people. This is displacement of groups that have been utilizing these grounds for positive endeavors for our community. Groups that give the hours of community service back. I have listened and I have watched Blackwater and the county officials push this contract using a fear tactic of "we need them" and begging them to stay, showing a level of arrogance. A script seems to have been written that implies that other parties are at fault for the condition of the grounds, with no fault from the county themselves. There has been a high level of frustration towards any persons that are opposed to the project, acting as if those people want the grounds to be unsafe and in turmoil. Commissioners even setting motions to eliminate any parties that have a say in the matter, underlying the tactic of fear, fall in line or else. Alpena County deserves leaders that lead with humility, admit mistakes have been made on the handling of the fairgrounds property for past decades that now become yours to correct. This problem did not happen overnight. I ask that you work with your community that so desperately wants to save these grounds. Eliminate this contract that only serves a private entity, because not every opportunity is one worth taking. Listen to understand your constituents with an open mind. Allow ideas to emerge that may be different from your own and create a culture that can grow and sustain for the years to come. I believe that the people of our beautiful county, Fair Board and Egg Society, with the support of our commissioners, can make the fairgrounds a place that we can be proud of. It can once again flourish and be a place for all to enjoy while also bringing in a sustainable income. There are plenty of ideas out there if you are willing to listen, willing to do better, be better. Thank you.
Earl Wallen.
She's fine.
Anyhow, I'm just here to express that I do not support. I feel like it's been rushed. And the community hasn't been given a chance to talk. I'm here today because my boss. Those people. This is something that not have just I feel like the reason the community is pushing back so hard is because we feel this has been ongoing here. Why didn't we hear about it until just now? These are just frankly, the way that some of the commissioners spoke for the Fairview leases has been terrible, and I want to be on record. These are your constituents. These are the people who elected you to be in this office, and what we have to say does have a meaning. Thank you.
Courtney?
Hi, everyone. I'm Courtney Taryanin, the president of the Alpena County Fair Board. At the podium today, I speak on behalf of the Fair Board in its entirety. As you know, on May 6th, the Fair Society voted to end negotiations with Blackwater's NE due to significant contractual concerns. What this vote did not signify was the end of our partnership with you, the County of Alpena. In fact, this vote screamed to enhance and strengthen our partnership with you under one common goal: to fix the fairgrounds. What I am asking for on behalf of the Fair Board is the opportunity to work together as parallel entities. Utilize the fire and the compassion in the community as an unstoppable force to revitalize the fairgrounds. Work together to have an inspection done where then the Fair Board will present their own proposal addressing these violations. While the goals of our two organizations may appear worlds apart, they are actually remarkably alike. This is also true for our community. The history and heritage over the last 150 years have been truly incredible, and we want nothing more than to continue that for generations to come.
Cindy.
Hello, I'm Cindy Krentz, treasurer actually of the Alpena Fair Board. Alpena County Fairgrounds are far more than just 1 week of fair each summer. They are year-round community resource that supports our youth, families, agricultural programs, and equestrian activities throughout the entire year. This weekend alone, we have horse camp taking place at the grounds. We also host Achievement Day, numerous horse shows, clinics, 4-H meetings, and educational events that provide opportunities for our youth to learn responsibility, leadership, sportsmanship, and hard work. These activities bring families together and keep traditions alive in our community. The fairgrounds are not simply buildings and arenas. They are gathering places that generations of families have invested their time, money, volunteer hours into preserving for the youth of our Alpena County. One of the greatest concerns many of us have is the uncertainty surrounding the future availability of the horse arena and other facilities. If these spaces become unavailable or restricted, where will these programs go? Where will our horse camp go after 60 years of having horse camp at those grounds? Achievement Day, and where will the horse shows be held? There's no comparable facility readily available for these activities, and losing access would be devastating and have a significant impact on our 4-H youth and many community members who rely on these grounds year-round. We ask the commissioners to carefully consider not only the week of the fair, but countless events and programs that happen throughout the year before making decisions that could permanently affect the future of the fairgrounds. Preserving these grounds means preserving opportunities for the youth and families of our community for generations to come. Thank you.
Stacy.
My name is Stacy Oven. I'm gonna wing it today because I've done my whole write my speech and you guys have listened to it. But I'm gonna wing it today. I've been involved in 4-H for years, avid supporter of the Alpena County Fairgrounds. My parents met at the Alpena County Fairgrounds. They used to race horses on that track. I rodeoed there. I showed horses there for years. My kids showed. I can't wait for my grandkids someday to hopefully be able to enjoy that fairgrounds as well. My son's getting married next year and he's talking kids already. So super excited about that. And I really hope you guys consider the generations and generations that have used that fairgrounds and have enjoyed it. I've looked at the Blackwater contract. I'll be honest. Have you guys really looked at it? If that was your property, would you sign that up? Would you sign your property up with them? Because I looked at that contract and I'll be honest, when it was talked about with 4-H council, because I'm on 4-H council, I was all for it. New barns, everything sounds great. Then when you read that contract, there's some stuff in there that the wording is not great. You can't use this area. You can't do this. If we fix this up, it is now ours because it's an improvement, blah, 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 blah. Like it's a lot. Did you guys really read everything? Because it is not going to benefit this community. It is going to benefit Blackwater. And that's why they're hanging on here. They can't, from day one, they kept saying, if you don't sign, we're leaving, we're leaving, we're leaving. They haven't left yet, people, because they have nowhere to go. They don't have anybody else that wants them. You guys are hanging on, and we have a ton of community support that are willing to help fix those fairgrounds up. My family has done things there for years helping to fix that fairgrounds up. And we have a lot of other people that are ready to sign up and fix that fairgrounds up. So please give us that opportunity. Don't take this away from generations of people. Like I said, my parents met there. They raced horses there. I did it. My kids enjoyed the fair for many, many years. I really look forward to my grandkids being there someday and maybe great grandchildren if I live that long. I might not with all the stress in my life, but you know, it could happen. But please, I want you guys to look at it like it's your own property, not county property. I want you to read that contract very well and tell me if you would sign your property up for that, because I wouldn't sign mine up.
Michael Szymanski?
I would just like to say I'm in support of all the people that are talking against Blackwater. I use the fairgrounds. I live a couple houses down on Tuttle. And as kids, we fished around the bank. We swam at the Sandies. It's almost too bad the Sandies had to be fixed up back there where you couldn't still swim in the water. But I hesitate for the county to partner with private. If they have the money, and this is such a great deal, they can buy their property, just like I had to when I build a house or I want to start a business, and develop it. To come in there and take what you have already, fix it up. If it goes under, even if they fixed it up so nice, it's maybe more than the county could ever afford to maintain. We had trouble with the Northern Lights Arena, you know, and I supported that. Kid played hockey, got your name on a brick. But boy, you know, I kind of felt a little sorry that I put the county in such a position because this community isn't super wealthy. And everything's going up. We're all downsizing. The county has to too a little. If we can't have the Taj Mahal over there and the best barns, I look at those barns, they're good enough. I would never paint them because then you're going to create more maintenance. You have to have them fairly safe. The horse people in town should know what they need. And we have an event center at the Northern Lights. If they want to put on some concerts, okay. People are from Posen. They have a lot of property out there probably. They can develop that for Posen and let's just see how much money that brings into Posen. I'm going to say hardly nothing. Maybe a few kids selling T-shirts that I was in Posen. But it's not going to come to the tax page. As far as tourism in town, it's kind of that. Every time they open the bridge, $1,000 for one of them boats. Because we're not seeing it in high-paying jobs. Tourism, no salvation. Try and keep our businesses going. It would have sure been nice if we could have put money into Abitibi. A lot of families, raised families on that job. Tell me how many are raising them on tourism. A few, but there isn't too many $25 an hour, $30 an hour jobs. And all the traffic, don't need it on that side of town. It's a bottleneck. You never know what it's going to turn into.
Mr. Szymanski.
That's a nice park over there.
Mr. Szymanski.
Oh, yes.
John.
Thank you.
Bonnie Altman?
I would speak from back here because when we speak from the podium, nobody seems to hear us. And I too just kind of wing it. On this beautiful day, I'd rather be out working in my garden or playing cards. But something kept nagging and nagging at me. So I put down some thoughts and I'll bring them forward and hopefully from behind you, you can hear. How did we get into this mess? Without knowing, it appears that this company approached Jesse, explained a lot of things to him. It sounded good. I grew up on checklists. I taught school for 40 years and then worked in mental health, raised a family and things. So the first checklist I would have had is every year they go to the fair comes to them and says, these are the things we need. These are the things that we need right now. And then the list be signed off. Yes, we can help you with that. No, we can't help you with that. Check with the Alpena that writes the grants. Maybe they can help with that. I've seen nothing in 10 years given to the fair that I know of. The next thing, when I would be approached, like Jesse must have been, with a big project, there must be a checklist for something like this. How does it affect the city? How does it affect the sources? How does it affect the people? And if it's affecting so much property or so much money, there has to be a public hearing where people can come in and give their opinion. And there has to be a procedure. My procedures are, somebody brings a project to them, they look it over, ask the questions, and then vote on it. This came through the back door. And I think now, because the back door has been exposed to so many people, and some of you not knowingly, some of you maybe laziness, I don't know. But anyway, because it came through the back door, contracts are already signed. How can that happen? So we're kind of stuck in a sinkhole. And they're trying to find ways to now dig us out of that sinkhole. What are you going to do? Have a meeting tomorrow at 5 in the morning and vote on this then? That's the opinion that I get. When I looked up county commissioners, they're to be accountable to the people they serve.
Yep. Yes.
They are to be transparent.
Yep.
About their decision-making process. I have not seen that at all. So I feel we should look at other options. I feel instead of it called Blackwell,
Bonnie, your
it should
time
be
is.
called Backwater LLC.
Bonnie?
Chubani's got to be pretty good.
I know what. Okay. Good afternoon. I'm Bonnie Fredericks, retired Alpena County Clerk, Sanborn Township resident. Don't sell or lease the taxpayers' property to keep the lights on. The commissioners need to think hard and long about taxpayers' property that they want to lease to a private entity without it being on the tax base. We need to just review leases, agreements, management contracts from the past. All is not all happy with these contracts and rosy with these agreements. Many so-called money in the pocket ideas don't always work out as expected. It end up costing the taxpayers with upfront money, in-kind services, additional costs and services. Examples are the Aplex, Northern Lights, the Plaza Pool, our drug court, emergency management, DNR grants, the DHS building, and housing out-of-town prisoners in our old jail. These all look good on paper, then life happens. The revenue didn't come in, attendance is down, unexpected repairs, aging equipment, items not covered in the original agreement, management teams change, the weather, paperwork not filled out timely or properly. The fairgrounds have been deteriorating for years. Back in the days of Ron Wilder, Tom Christensen, and Wes Wilder, the fairgrounds upkeep has been an issue. Tom Christensen, when he retired, he presented the Board of Commissioners with a list of buildings and repairs that would need to be done within a certain time frame. I couldn't find this list this morning, but I'm sure that on the list were the grandstands at the fairgrounds, which needed to be repaired or replaced. The solution to this was to provide a board with X number of planks per year to repair the bleachers. And I believe it was 20 planks, and the fair board members would do the labor. The way to balance the taxpayers' budget is not in leasing or selling our assets, or in draining or reducing designated funds to cover everyday expenses. I realize that this board has inherited issues and problems from past boards, but rather than compound the issues, this board has the capability to work to make the county financially secure while taking care of our assets. There will be a few hard years, but that's what we do at home. We rein in, take stock and address the issues. Again, commissioners, please don't sell or lease the assets of the county just to keep the lights on here. Is the county in such financial state that we must sell, lease, give up our assets to keep afloat? Thank you.
Ed Patton?
thing got brakes. I'm a fat guy, so.
We'll put it on the list.
My name's Ed Patton. I live out in Maple Ridge, so I have no idea who okay, never mind. I'm just recently hearing about this whole maple, or as that was, black market, whatever. And I'm wondering how a transaction or an item like this can be decided on without a public vote. I mean, all you commissioners are politicians, yes? Okay? You work for us, not the other way around. And I don't remember seeing a vote for anything regarding the fairgrounds. I mean, you got things there that I'm compassionate about, like the animal shelter. What's gonna happen with that? No answer. Okay? My question is why? What's in it for you guys? Are y'all getting paid for this as well? You gonna get a little something on the side? Listen to the people that elected you. Make a vote. That's the democratic way. And once again, you work for us, not the other way around. The remaining time I have, I'm gonna give to this young lady right here. So she'll have it for a minute and a half. Is that okay, Jackie?
Seriously? Yeah.
Professional gain? I don't know, but I don't understand this behavior. It makes me feel like we're not really listening to our constituents and you are not open-minded whatsoever. Third, on May 18th, at this very meeting, some compromises to the Fair Board and county contract were presented. No one had heard those prior, and the people they affect, the Fair Board, were not consulted. What came up with them? And what background knowledge? Then the Fair Board was told by Osmar that they would be shared to the president that day. She still has not received them. And I want to thank Connor Shesky because he did share them with us, but Osmar did not. Why? He's not doing his job, and he's certainly not keeping his word. And a man of your word means nothing to me. Why? It's to control the narrative of the information that is coming out to you. Finally, obviously, the fairgrounds has been a big topic on social media, and questions have been asked, and experts in the field have responded. I'm going to use Mary Beth Stutzman as an example. In a reply to her comment, our county administrator made some very condescending, unprofessional comments saying, I'm going to remember this, and noted. I got a big problem with that. He's a representative of the board, and he makes a public comment. It reflects badly on all of you. He has an air of arrogance and power with that
Time's
comment.
up.
Yeah, but you let it run.
No, it's going past. Excuse me, Tricia, you're done. Tricia, your time is up.
No, it's all right. I'll come
It
back.
is. It's 20 seconds past.
Does anybody else in the room have public comment? Anybody? Okay, we'll go online. Is anybody online with public comment?
We have a couple of people.
Can you speak up? We can't hear you.
The first one we have is a Samsung phone. I'm going to ask them to unmute right now.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi. Ready?
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. My name is Emily Eagling. I live in Wellington Township. I have lived in Alpena County all of my life. I've been involved with the fair or 4-H for over 47 years. I just want to say how disappointed I am with some of the people on this board. All this goes back to the first meeting about our Alpena County Fairgrounds and Blackwater. The lack of transparency then and now has not gotten any better. This is how I feel. I feel it is a one-sided attitude from some of the board members. Public apologies were given directly to Blackwater when your own county or previous county members and residents have never received a public apology from the commissioners nor Blackwater. Private after the meeting apologies are not acceptable. When apologies to Blackwater are made public record, why were apologies towards your own community members not done on record? This is unacceptable. This is why myself and others have lost respect for some of the commissioners. Threats to my family and friends from Blackwater and people who sit at that table are also unacceptable. Blackwater has done nothing but create issues since they walked through the door. Their so-called entertainment commitments will not be accepted by many in this community for the simple fact of, again, transparency. The to be determined from their press releases are just words. No factual proof, and none that has been found. The lease agreement is what I feel is a one-sided agreement towards Blackwater, not to help the Alpena County in the future. Let go of the lease. Let go of the lease agreement. Let go of all the bad press. Let go of the threats. Don't accept this lease with Blackwater. Let your constituents and community show you how we can come together and make the fairgrounds great while keeping 152 years of heritage going for many generations to come. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Next, we have an Elle Benak. She didn't raise her hand, but I saw in the chat that she wanted to talk, so I will go ahead and unmute her. If she is still there. Yep, there she is.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. It feels like or appears that you have already made your decision on Blackwater without giving the community a chance to save our local treasure, the land that was gifted to the community. And I believe the community deserves a voice on what should be done with that land. And as a community, I do not feel we have a lot of community land on which we can all gather and share experiences, and especially like over the last 150 years. I think it would be a terrible disservice to the community if you voted for Blackwater. There are other land that they could buy, that they could use. And I also do not understand the urgency and secrecy that regarding this deal. And if it is to eventually possibly affect our taxes, I believe we should have full transparency regarding it and the right to vote on it, especially land that was gifted to us to make such a change. I don't think that area should be for sale. I think that you should give the community a chance to save the local treasure. Please do not rush the vote, and please vote no. And I have about a minute and a half left. I will let Tricia Udell continue if she wishes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I am just going to say that he is a representative of the board and it is making you look really badly. And as now back here in the cheap seats, I'm concerned about these things I talked about today. We're concerned that the board is not really doing their due diligence and making sure that this is the best decision for our county residents. Now, something you should know is that these fair friends back here, we're a family and we show up. And I'm going to use Osmer's snarky words. I would like to say, we're going to remember this. It's noted.
Anybody else?
I think so.
So no one else has got public comment. We're going to close public comment at this time. Move on to the next item. There is, again, there'll be a public comment at the end if anyone else wants to speak. So moving on to the next item, we got the bills to pay. Did everyone have a chance to review the bills?
I'll make a motion, we pay the bills as submitted.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner LaHaye. Support. Support by Commissioner Ludlow. Any questions, discussion?
Clarification for Commissioner Ludlow, you had questions about the top repair. That insurance check was coming in two parts. The first half has been received, the second half is not, but it's on its way.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay, look for roll call, please.
Commissioner LaHaye.
Yes.
Commissioner Ludlow.
Yes.
Commissioner Bray.
Yes.
Commissioner Fournier.
Yes.
Commissioner Britton.
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky, sorry,
Yes.
and Commissioner Kozlowski.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, consent calendar. We have a few things on there. Anybody have anything? The only thing that I'd actually question if we should pull was the GCC number 1, because you've got those notes about it was kind of kicked down the road, but if we approve the way GCC 1 is written, I think if we approve the consent calendar, we'd technically be approving that. Even though it's been pushed off back to, I can't remember, is it courts and public safety or?
I think it's courts and public safety,
So
yeah.
that would be my only thing, would be to pull that, just so it isn't approved as part of the consent calendar. Anybody have anything else? Is everyone good with that?
Yeah.
So if there's no other questions, I look for a motion to approve the consent calendar.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Fournier,
Support.
support by Commissioner Britton. Any discussion? And if not, roll call, please.
Commissioner Ludlow.
Yes.
Commissioner Bray.
Yes.
Commissioner Fournier.
Yes.
Commissioner Britton.
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky.
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye.
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski.
Yes. Okay, next item, Cynthia.
Thank you very much. I'm here today asking for the county to approve a grant application that I was made aware of was a possibility for our prosecutor's office. It's called the Local Prosecutor Support Grant, and it is a state grant. It is a reimbursement grant for up to $108,147. It can be stretched over the next 5 years or spent prior to that. And there is no organizational match necessary for that particular funding.
That's all you got?
Well, I don't know what particular questions or.
Yeah, I've reviewed it. Everyone had a chance to review that. I usually have no problems when it comes to the no county match things because it's a no-brainer. And you answered the questions I saw when I reviewed it. The only actually one question I have, it's for supplemental income for additional, I guess, attorneys.
Additional things.
Okay.
Yes, around the office. So one item that I would definitely use the funding for would be for additional research, our software that we have. So we subscribe, it's a subscription to LexisNexis. We, the 3 prosecutors in the office, have the bare bones application for that. It has much greater capabilities. So I have priced that particular amount out. So anything above and beyond what our current contract is at, that additional amount would be covered by the grant for those purposes. And that is a 3-year contract. So this 5-year grant would cover those services for that time period. But the remainder of it, there are many different possibilities of ways that we can use that money. However, what I want to concentrate on is what I was concentrating on a couple of years ago, and that is attempting to bring in another prosecutor. It will not cover a full-time prosecutor by any means, but with the money, I would advertise for a contractual position that would necessarily have to work within the restraints of the funding.
Okay. As far as the reimbursement, do you know how long it takes for the reimbursement?
No, that I really don't have any idea, but I do know that we have to report quarterly. So I would I would surmise quarterly.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, I'd look for a motion.
I'll make motion
Motion by Commissioner Bray,
as
support by
presented, yeah.
Commissioner Kashewski. Well, actually, any further discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Commissioner Bray? Yes. Commissioner Fournier?
Yes.
Commissioner Britt?
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky?
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye?
Yes.
Commissioner Ludlow?
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Okay, Jesse.
Right, on the first item, Chairman, you had some questions on opioid funding. I invited Jason Beatty and Vicky Konashevsky here to speak to that if you had some of the questions. I don't think Shannon is here. Oh, there you are. Hi, Shannon. And Shannon will also be available for questions.
Okay. So the only thing that I have, well, one of the things that I have was the question regarding the financial statements. I still haven't seen anything in the original email. In an email, I was told that we would get something.
My name is Jason Beatty. I'm the owner and operator of Freedom Recovery Center here.
Could you just come up here? It's a little bit, I know you're a lot of people to move around back there.
Would you like to podium?
Yeah, just closer. It's easier to hear.
My name is Jason Beatty. I own and operate Freedom Recovery Center. I'm here in support of Reborn Rescue and the Viveros. I had originally, when we spoke to them, advised them to wait on sending in financial statements solely because we haven't asked that. I also sit on the opiate steering committee. We haven't asked that of anybody. And they gave us the most thorough to the penny application of anybody else. So I told them to wait to find out why they were being asked for that when nobody else was.
I can answer that. I was the one that asked. So basically and I'll use the example because I've already used it. Youth and Rec, we require a budget and financial stuff to submit for grants. And, I just felt like that's something that we've always done. And when I started looking into this and asking questions, I just felt it was something that we should, and you weren't the only one because I had asked for, and I didn't get either one. I didn't get a financial statement from Huron Humane Society as well.
So was this the animal shelters that we were concerned about? Is that correct?
Well, those are the only two that we were asking to approve right now.
Okay. Well, I guess that would be up to you guys if you want to turn that in. I mean, if they're just looking to see something similar to what was before. I know you're.
And again, I know Cindy's, I'm going to use you back there. Anytime I get anything and I'm dealing with I'm just more of a financial guy. And that's one of the biggest things Cindy knows. I'm constantly asking about financial stuff. My background is finance. I enjoy numbers, looking at numbers, trying to see where the money's being spent. So the first thing I'm always going to do is ask for financial statements.
Why explain that, you guys do first and then.
And you can explain, I have no problem with that because I did read through your entire grant, or not your grant, but your request and the proposal. So I kind of did see where the breakdown was, but go ahead and explain for the rest if they didn't see that.
Great. Yeah, I would really like to explain because, we're fairly new. We opened last July. So Reborn Rescue is not only a dog facility. Okay, so we are not actually a shelter, we're a rescue. And our rescue facility is used for programming and fundraising and things like that. It's not used to house animals like a normal shelter because we are not a shelter. We do not have a shelter license. So Reborn Rescue, what I wanted it to become is something that helped individuals in recovery from substance use disorder through animal assisted therapy. And that's exactly what I've created. I myself am almost 10 years sober. Any of the volunteers that we have working at our facility, even though they are labeled as supervisors, that's just merely because they know what they know and they're at that level. None of us take home a paycheck. We work anywhere from 8 hours to 14 hours a day, and we do not make any money because we are doing what we love. We are helping animals and we are helping people. Currently, we have a partnership with Sunrise Recovery and Treatment Center. And individuals that are at their point in treatment that are allowed to come into our facility, take part in our programs. We have Let's Talk Recovery, and we do recovery meetings with animals, small dogs, 30 pounds and under. And individuals that have taken part in our programs say that it doesn't even feel like work. It doesn't feel like that it's mandatory. They are learning that dogs are helping them in their recovery because dogs have the ability to forgive. They have the ability to have trust in humans again. And no matter what rock bottom a dog has came from, that they were abandoned, they were abused, seeing these dogs recover from those terrible situations helps individuals in recovery recover themselves. And that's what I found almost a decade ago, that animals helped me in my recovery and to sustain my recovery. We have a companion care program that we will house dogs for individuals that are entering treatment for substance use disorder. And we have had several dogs in the last 9 months. We have taken care of all of their veterinary expenses, and that includes spay or neuter. Some of them have needed more intense things, like they have been very sick when we've got them because the individual is going to treatment. They don't know what happens to that dog after they enter the treatment facility. So we even have had a dog that went through a lot of training to get to where they were. And those individuals have actually wrote letters to the opioid settlement board that I believe have been passed on to you. We have not only do we have an adult program that we are running in coordination with Sunrise Treatment and Recovery, Catholic Human Services, Freedom Recovery Center. We also have a youth program, and that's my goal for 2026 is to expand the youth program that's Pause for Prevention. We have already started working with the YVC the last 2.5 months. We just formulated a partnership with Pivot. And I'm trying to expand that to help at-risk youth because we have already had several youth in our facility that have had substance abuse related offenses that we have actually partnered with individuals in recovery to help them guide them on the right path. So to see that happen organically is absolutely amazing. And the misinterpretation to the public of what Reborn Rescue is, it is not just a dog rescue. It is so much more than that. We do a lot of things for the community, and that's really what I wanted to show you guys here today, that it's not just animals. We actually have, because when I had first applied for this, I believe last summer, for the opioid settlement committee, they were like, how are you going to track or collect data on the individuals that are participating in your programs? So I have a liability form that everyone fills out, but on top of that, I have a confidential recovery background. And that is where I did collect some of the data that I provided you guys with. And I have them fill out one of these surveys so that I can collect and see which substance that they are struggling with. So I can kind of pinpoint in our area of how many individuals that we are helping. So the data is real. The data is from individuals that I've helped in the last 9 months. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you do have about our facility, because like I said, it's not only a dog rescue. We are actively helping individuals. And I have, myself and my husband, Carlos, we have used about probably $30,000 of our own finances to start this and to fund this, because that's how much we believe in what we're doing. That we sat down and I made a business plan that took me 3 years before I even opened our facility to see where we were going to have money coming in from and where we were going to do fundraisers and raising money. Because right now it's purely on, we're doing fundraising for grooming, we're doing doggy daycare. The public helps greatly with donations, and you know, that's what we get. We don't qualify for any shelter related grants or anything because we're not a shelter. So at this point, I would be happy to answer any questions you have about our facility.
I have a question.
Yes.
Just so I can understand this. I know we have a lot of people in Alpena that are having problems with drugs and drinking, and so you have them come to you. Is your animals, dogs, how can I say this? They come in, they're all upset, they want a drink, they know they can't have a drink. do they come in and they get calmed down by the animals you have? Like they can help you do whatever you need? They interact with the animals to help them?
Yes, so that's a really good question. So basically Reborn Rescue is like the next step. So we have like Freedom Recovery, Dr. Jason Beatty, he's referred several of his clients, patients that need that extra help, that extra therapeutic benefits that our agency can provide. The same as Catholic Human Services, if they're already in counseling through them and they need community service hours, they're like, oh, this might be a great option for you. People that don't like traditional AA meetings, this is a great option for them as well. So we are not the first step. So we have other agencies that we're partnered with, like Freedom, Catholic Human Services, and Sunrise, that the individuals usually start there. And then we are like their secondary. So our goal is to keep them on that path, because what happens after an individual gets out of treatment or they are off probation, you know, that recidivism of the same cycle, that's insanity. That's where it comes from. They don't know any different. So what we are trying to do is we are partnering people with people in recovery and keeping them on the same path. We have had so many individuals that have completed their community service hours or their probationary period, and they still come into our facility. And that's what we want to create. We want to create a place where they feel welcome, that they feel like, they can come in and stop in at any time. And we've had people come in and be like, I finally got the job I wanted, or they tell us our life milestones and I haven't seen them in a month. And it's really, really rewarding to see where they started and where they are coming from. And it's only been 9 months. So to see what this could be in 5 years is amazing. I've had other counties reach out to me with their opioid settlement money to see what I did here, because they want to create something else. It was Iosco County? Iosco, yes. So it's working and it's absolutely awesome. But yes, that was a really great question. I appreciate it.
Add to that.
Oh,
So as some of you know, I treat quite a bit. I'm a physician in town. I own Freedom Recovery Center, and I treat this firsthand. So this is what I'm in the trenches every day. My part's actually easy. My part, getting them to stop, is actually the easy part. It's what comes next that makes all the difference in the world. So places like Reborn Rescue, Catholic Human Services, anywhere that we can send them for aftercare, something other than, or even, if some of them prefer a 12-step program, they can go to meetings and so forth. We all work together. Without that, none of these people survive. So my job by itself, the vast majority of them aren't going to make it unless they have something that can pick them up on the back end, which is where Reborn Rescue comes in. Like I said, when we looked at all of these applications, so we didn't see any that were terrible by any means, but their application was even better than our application. These are the types of things that we kind of all jumped up and down and be like, yes, this is what we want. This is where we want the money to go. Because that part of it is what, again, I can only do my part. With Catholic Human Services does their part, Reborn Rescue does theirs. These folks do so much better long-term. We see long-term recovery, but more so than getting clean. I think a lot of people look at it like, okay, well, they're clean, so that's great. Yeah, but now you need a job. You need some skills. You need somebody to teach you how to dress properly for a job interview. These guys help with all of that stuff. Whereas even Catholic Human Services, they do their part. This is a part that nobody else was doing that we really needed done. So this was perfect for us to kind of complete the whole treatment cycle, if that makes any sense. So
if you work with Catholic Human Services, have you ever worked with the Northern Michigan Regional Entity? They have, okay, because they have that substance use.
Yep, we work very closely with them, actually.
Okay, because they have funding for different programs. And I'm on the board. I just recently got on the board, and I've noticed that there is funds available. You just have to apply. And I think you have to go through Catholic Human Services. And I was going to make a visit and see how that works. I didn't know how it worked to get to that board.
Right.
So you are familiar with it.
Right.
I'm from Catholic Human Services, so I can probably answer.
we'll turn it over to you.
I was reading their packet and I thought, and reading the grants, and I thought, there's not much in Alpena. I think the sheriff department had something, but yeah.
So NEMRI, Northern Michigan Regional Entity.
Yeah.
is, I'm just going to put it simply, it's the gateway, it's the gatekeeper to Medicaid funds.
Yeah.
No other insurance, just Medicaid. So they are specific to substance use. So if you're coming in with a mental health diagnosis and you have Medicaid, you are not privy to those funds through NEMRI. The funding, because of the state shifting around some monies, I guess, and to be able to have those funds accessible, that is only for treatment, for counseling or inpatient. They do have different programs if they're with those that are providing medication-assisted treatment. But those funds have been shrunk. They had a big block grant, and that would apply to those people that didn't have Medicaid. But that block grant is turning into really another Medicaid application.
Okay. So they saved me a trip. Thank you.
What?
Saved me a trip.
Yes.
I was gonna go down and talk to someone.
But I also, so as part of Catholic Human Services, we have some governing bodies that we have to follow. Obviously, the state of Michigan and their policies and procedures. We also follow SAMHSA, which is the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. They are the big national organization that hands out the regulations for mental health and substance use. We also follow MCBAP, which is the Michigan Certification Board for Addiction. I hold an advanced certification through MCBAP. They're also in there in the realm of treatment. And then we have the ASAM, which is the American Society of Addiction Medicine. That's what we determine the level of care. It's a national, it's not something just within Catholic Human Services, it is a national. So we determine risk and we determine level of care with the ASAM, and NEMRI requires us to do an ASAM on everyone because it's a Medicaid umbrella assessment. And I just wanted to reiterate, addiction does not start when they come walking in our door. Addiction starts way before that. Addiction doesn't stop when they get out of inpatient treatment. I printed out a lot of different things. National Institute of Health, NIH, which is another national entity that does study. It takes a long time for someone to rebuild, especially when they come in the door. And I describe it as if you have a thing of pencils and pens. They're coming in and we're asking them to dump every single thing out of that container. And when you turn it back up, there's nothing. So evidence-wise, it's the recovery. Evidence-wise, if we can change them to stop using drugs or alcohol, that just is the beginning of the recovery basis. They're sober, but they're not in recovery. So that's, I should have disclosed this. I am part of the opioid steering committee as well. I'm sorry, I should have disclosed that up front. But that's what we're looking at as a community of the members. What is going to provide these individuals, not just stopping, but recovering, becoming part of the community, engaging in life, engaging in their families, restructuring, rebuilding all the things that they dumped out during their addiction. So, thank you. Thank you.
I'm good.
If I may add one thing. Carlos Rivera, co-owner of Reborn Rescue. one of the things we're extremely proud about is the way that we approach helping people in recovery. This is example. My wife and I this year will be 10 years sober. 10 years ago, my life was a mess, completely mess, right? The reason why people connect so well with us is because I feel like they can foresee their future by looking at us as business owners and running this incredible organization that she created. And it's almost giving them hope. It's telling them, okay, if they can do this, then we can do this, right? So it's not only about the big spectrum about, animal-assisted therapy and incorporating that with recovery, but we're giving people hope. And that's not what it's all about. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Kim, you said
Donna.
somebody else was,
I just said a couple things. I'm Andrea. I feel like nobody ever really talks about what happens after you stop the use of substances and opioids. I have been sober for about 8 years now. I was a heavy user of opioids for about 6. I lost my career, my family, financials, everything. I got thrown in jail. I was lost. When I got out, I had nothing. They just kind of threw me out there. I didn't know what was going on. I got, misdiagnosed with many different things, not realizing that it was all because of the substance use and there's no aftermath care. I have gone through Reborn Rescue's opioid program, and I started last year in December, and I can tell you, for the past 7 years, up until last December when I started, I was contemplating on using again, not knowing what I was going to do, not knowing what to do with myself. My mental health was poor. I reached out to Reborn Rescue and my life has been forever changed. I feel like I have a purpose. I no longer feel like I ever want to use again. I don't ever want to go down that road. And now I'm slowly starting to rebuild my life, finally, after 7 years. So this program means a lot to me. And now that I've been through the program and now I can help other people in recovery as well.
what was your name again?
Andrea.
Andrea? Okay.
Thank you.
Is that person still?
Hello.
No, I'm talking to Kim.
Donna Hardis.
Yeah. I was just going back to the question, I believe it was Ms. Bray that she had about other potential funding sources. And I think what she was referring to, she sits on the SUD board for NEMRI, and it's the PA $2 when she had mentioned potentially going and applying for other dollars for entities. And I just wanted to clarify that she was talking about the PA $2 available through NEMRI.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
I'd like to thank you for stepping forward. I didn't realize there was so much that you do, so.
I appreciate that. We've tried to get the information out there so that people do understand everything that we do. And I appreciate all of your time and, consideration. And if there's any other questions, feel free to ask us. And we're just really happy that we're in the community here. Thank you.
Thank you for all you do.
So I'll just kind of go back to where I started, which is the financials. Again, for me to be comfortable, I want to be able to see that stuff. So I would still request that we get a copy of that. Because it wasn't just your organization. And I think when we're utilizing or giving away county funding, I think it's advantageous for us to be able to see that and be able to see where that money's going. I know you have the breakdown here, which I think was really good. But again, I like to be able to see on a financial statement how that money, those resources were spent.
Okay. I can supply you with that.
Okay.
We can just touch base later, Shannon. Touch base later.
Thanks,
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank Commissioners. The next item is action item number 4. This was a recommendation brought to us by our auditor. As prices increase and costs increase across the board, in order to bring us in line with other units that they work with, they recommended that we increase the capital asset policy values from $5,000 to $10,000.
So did they tell us why that recommendation was made?
Again, because they increased cost and pricing on everything across the board. So it's just, it's getting to the point where 5,000 pretty much, you know, it's not what it once was.
No. Can barely cover a Taco Bell meal.
So again, she just said that it brings it in line with other units that she covers as well. She had the discussion with our treasurer as well, just the recommendations to increase it.
So I'd look for a motion to approve the capital asset policy values from 5,000 to 10,000 per auditor recommendation. Motion by Commissioner Bray, support by Commissioner Fournier. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Fournier?
Yes.
Commissioner Britton?
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky?
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye?
Yes.
Commissioner Ludlow?
Yes.
Commissioner Bray?
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, next item.
This item is a budget adjustment. As you all know, we act as a fiduciary for Hunt. They recently had a issue with one of their vehicles. There was an insurance repair that needed to be done. So we're just looking for the line items to be adjusted so we can make that payment.
I'll make a motion.
So we have a motion by Commissioner Bray or support by Commissioner Ludlow for the increase in the insurance recovery for the amount of $1,405. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Britton?
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky?
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye?
Yes.
Commissioner Ludlow?
Yes.
Commissioner Bray?
Yes.
Commissioner Fournier?
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski?
Yes.
Motion carried.
And the final item that you had added is pool budget adjustment. During the closure of the pool, when our grounds maintenance team was doing repairs and cleaning, they found approximately $2,000 worth of repairs that need to be made. Additionally, at that same time, we had a donation come in for the anchors to the diving blocks that are being purchased for the pool. Those anchors are just slightly over $6,000. And then the final item is the Make a Splash expenses. That money's come in, so we're just looking for adjustments on those line items as well. So just basically looking to be able to take those donation dollars in and then expense them out for those anchors. And then again, adjustments to Make the Splash program as well.
Okay. So I'd look for a motion to approve the budget adjustments.
I'll make the motion.
We got a motion by Commissioner Ludlow. Support by Commissioner Konashevsky. Any discussion, further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Konashevsky? Commissioner LaHaye?
Yes.
Commissioner Ludlow?
Yes.
Commissioner Bray?
Yes.
Commissioner Fournier?
Yes.
Commissioner Britton?
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, next item we have is an update on reports. I know we had this information was in our packet, so you want to just give us the top items if there are some, and we'll move on. So the first one up is Commissioner Konashevsky. Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped. Yeah, Britton.
Facilities meeting, we got a mixed report. He wasn't there, but we went through it. Claimants were down about 450. Our fuel sales are up a little bit year to date. I incorrectly stated that equipment was all operational, and Travis corrected me and actually had an issue with the power with the spreader. Broke something loose on it, and that's all across getting repaired. The hydraulics and the other blower down. Received 2 new plow trucks. Nick was going through his airport certification. That's why he wasn't there. As far as the T-hanger contract for to be finalized and an actual start date. Got an update on parks. Everything was up and running. We talked about the fairgrounds inspection and also the zoning issue that's there. That's potentially cause a problem with the alcohol sales. sculpture parks being dedicated here. We actually did a poll vote, I think, today on a name.
Yep, so the name chosen by the majority of the board is Fremont Park.
And then, got Northern Lights reports and a reimbursement request.
Good. Okay, next is Dan.
Grants and contracts, though, was on consent calendar and we really didn't have anything else.
Okay, thank you. Next up, Commissioner Bray.
For courts and public safety, the only thing we had is that we transferred outdated, retired equipment to the road commission from 911, other than the routine reports. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Fournier.
We did not have a meeting because we didn't have any business.
Okay, easy enough.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on, no special orders, unfinished business, correspondence, we all got the copies, I think. That was the correspondence that, and I'm sure you've all received a lot of correspondence, but we had a couple emails that were received, probably more than that. New business, nothing, and so we'll move on to the final public comment. Do we have anybody else that wants to come on up?
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm Kathy Thomas, a former county commissioner of Alpena. I just want to say for the fairgrounds to keep it. Hopefully you guys haven't made up your mind already. I do the community health fair. We do it at the fair with Dr. Walls. I organize it and get victims for blood pressures and blood sugars. So I have a biased opinion of keeping the fair the way it is. I don't know Blackwater, but from what I hear, it's not good. We shouldn't be leasing a county facility or grounds. We should take bids on repairs. We should be, the county's responsible. We should be buying county trucks instead of fixing the grandstand. So my opinion is to keep the county fairgrounds intact. And my granddaughter's in 4-H. You know, they may take the county buildings down. They want to take them down and then re-erect them in the summer. That makes no sense. None. So fix what we have, cherish what we have, and take care of it. It's the county commissioner's responsibility to keep that in their budget. Okay, thank you.
Come on back up.
I just wanted to reiterate that Blackwater, it is the county property. It would make a nice park, even if you cheapened it up as far as buildings. That area is treasured by most of Alpena. And what he brought up on the alcohol for having sales at the fairgrounds, just had a big presentation about opioid and abuse. You maybe have a little bit too much alcohol running around the streets of Alpena with the open containers in certain areas, bringing our kids to places and events that we just see the adults say, this is great. I know there's a place for it. I don't happen to drink. So I can't understand it. It ruins your opportunity to have the common sense, you know, most people, it ruins their experience of the outdoors and the park settings. But they still do it, because maybe it's a group thing. But boy, I hope you can't get alcohol into the fairgrounds almost. That would be a wonderful thing. You would save so many people from seeing it with the kids. And the young kids that even go to a concert. How much policing you need after they get let go. So why would you even want alcohol at the fairground? That's a beautiful park setting. Don't go for it. And, you know, we can work together. The horse people and the 4-H sound like they're trying to do the best for the children. And I don't think they would want a whole bunch of alcohol at their events. Thank you.
I didn't sign my name to anything, but that I'd speak, but I only have one issue that I.
Could you just state your name so we know?
Mary Sayer.
Okay.
As Girl Scouts, we use the park to raise money for a trip to Europe, which we did in 1971, 55 years ago. We used a booster van or truck to sell orange drink, cotton candy and popcorn. And we did that 2 fairs during the fair, 2 years in a row to raise money, which was cost us on the trip $1,500 a scout. And I don't remember how much we made during the fair, but we did pretty well. So I have great memories of that. And that's why I'd like to keep fair going. Thank you.
Hey, Thomas Adams, I live in Maple Ridge Township. Sorry I had to appear here, but my commissioner doesn't answer my requests. And Jesse insults me and calls me names. So this is an poll that was taken by the Friends of the Alpena County Fairgrounds. 1,379 reject. These are county residents. 142 approve, 9% approve. So are you listening to your voters? Or are you listening to yourselves? Who's getting the money here really and who's paying the bill? Thank you. Good job.
Go ahead, come on up. What?
Oh, okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Deborah Stevens, and the reason that I am here today is because I did send an email to a commissioner who represents a parcel that we own in her township or in her district. And I'm very disappointed that the email was not answered. I drove 150 miles here today to meet this person or at least see who this individual is. I really would hope that that is not the way you all operate. However, based on the previous speaker's comment, apparently that is more commonplace. I recognize that I do not vote here, that this is not where my primary home is. However, everyone should have a voice at opportunities that happen. And for this Blackwater Park project to be steamrolled, for lack of a better term, is perplexing to me, especially since when I reviewed your 2024 park plan. While it does say look for partners, there's nothing in that park plan that says, let's find someone to lease that property to for 40 years. And if that is the case, then perhaps that property needs to be put out for a competitive development bid and not just singled for one individual. But I believe your name is it Fournier?
Fournier.
Fournier. I really would hope that if I email you in the future, that you at least acknowledge receipt. Whether you respond or not, that's on you, but to at least acknowledge that someone has sent you an email about a current events issue would be greatly appreciated on my part.
Even though you're not in resident, you do have a parcel of property.
Right. And I identified that in my email to you.
Amen.
Okay.
Anyone else in the room? Come on up.
Sorry, I'll talk from the podium, I guess this time. Body open again. I just hear little bits and pieces that, because a lot of the contracts have been signed before the company was even formed, and commitments have been made by just one member or all of you, I don't know, that when we do back out of this deal, there is going to be a cost to us as taxpayers. I want to know, I guess I'll send you an email. I want to know how much would be in debt, if that's true. And yeah, what's our punishment? But not ours, it should be yours, for not going ahead with this project. And how, who gave somebody permission to hire contractors and go after the liquor license? I do hope they don't get it. I want to be somewhere I can take.
Didn't want it.
Yeah. Why can't you listen to music without that? Let's make it into something that's usable by families here. We want to make this a nice community. But please, somehow answer us how much money we're in debt for, because somebody jumped the gun. Again, thing is called backwaters, not blackwaters.
Anybody else?
I forgot to mention something. Sometimes with the community health fair, we're the only health, entity that people have because of not being able to afford insurance. So when they come to us, we can refer them and hopefully they can get the medical assistance they need. Otherwise, we're it. Happens once a year.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Can I just ask a question?
Well, I think this gentleman's.
My name's Chris Zazinski. So putting all this on you guys, we have said Travis is the only one that's come to anything outside that I've seen. He's held a meeting, he's been informational on stuff. We've been asking this whole entire time. Everybody's been asking for a town hall meeting, something after 5 o'clock that people that work can go to. Have you ever seen this many people here? Have you ever had this much community talking about this stuff? You guys won't sit down, you won't answer questions, you won't have meetings. You guys created this situation. You created this hostility by hiding and not answering questions, not having a town hall meeting. You know how important this was, just the way that the Facebook and everything, the social media blew up. You could read right off the bat how important this was to the community. You're not taking the people's consideration at all. You're just hiding there. Like I said, Travis is the only one that's been transparent about it. He's the only one that's come out with stuff. You guys just hide behind your desks. Have meetings at 9 o'clock in the morning. You have people that work a regular job every day, 5 days a week. Can't come to these. You have no idea what people want. You can't sit there behind a desk and say, you know what your people want. You're not representing them. You cannot do that from that desk. You have to get out in the community and see that. You're not doing that. That's all I have.
Did you want to say
You
something?
basically said, I just,
Could you just stand up and state your name?
yeah, do I have to stand? Can I?
Yeah, just so project better if you stand.
Okay. My name's Joan Pels, and I just have a question, because the last 2 years, the fairgrounds was used to shelter people. And we had the ice storms. What's plan B for you guys? That chances are it's gonna happen again. I mean, you have to be prepared.
It only happened once.
Okay, once. What's the plan? I mean, that is the only place. The churches don't open. I mean, we did at the soup kitchen. They did open that, but that one time, they helped a lot of people. What's the plan? Has that been thought of at all? Are homeless? Are people that can't stay in their homes because of that ice storm? Have you thought about it? Or are we all cushy in our homes and don't worry about that? Just asking. Anybody? Have you even thought of it? It's just a question. Because I know nothing about this. I didn't know about it till last night. I'm like, what are you talking about? They can't do this without asking us. And I heard that whoever donated the land has specifically wrote what it's to be used for. Is that true? Are you stepping over that when these people donated it to us? I'm just asking, because I don't know. I don't know anything about this. Did they write up something?
We normally don't interact with the,
Oh, you don't?
no.
How do I get an answer?
Email.
John,
I'd like to see it if I could. That's it. That's the only homeless and it was given. I don't think you can take it. But you talk to the family that
Bonnie?
donated it. Okay.
I'm back. Yeah. This isn't gonna be popular, folks, but I think there's enough blame here to go around to everybody. Shame on the commissioners, past boards and present, that haven't been taking care of our donated fairgrounds land. I think if Jesse looks, there will be 3 plots that were donated over the time. And shame on the fair board. I love to see you people at these meetings, but you know, the only time anybody ever comes is when there's a problem. And you know, for years, the fair board ran in the red, which many of you probably know. And the county general fund picked up the slack and paid those bills, paid electricity after the fair board left, made our usage at the fairgrounds be a high usage for all 12 months, regardless if we use that minimum amount or not. So the commissioners, to a certain extent, have ponied up. But I think the fair board and the commissioners need to pony up and work on a solution how this fair board or the fairgrounds are going to be brought up to code and keep having a quality fair there.
We already said we would.
You know, it's not just up to the commissioners.
Actually.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not just up to the commissioners to take care of the fairgrounds. The fair board also has obligations, the agriculture society. And I hope that they will be able to work out their differences and we can continue to have quality fair and fairgrounds maintained. Thank you.
Stacy Almond again. A couple things. I just want to follow up from what she had commented. So the Fair Board has put money into the grounds, so has 4-H, so has many other families. In fact, one really well-known company that has put a lot of money into the fairgrounds the last couple of years since he's been on the Fair Board is Corey Standen. He's donated a lot of asphalt work, a lot of things. He brings his equipment in there. He does a lot of things there. One of the things I want to bring up right now is during fair, it's been known, even when I used to camp there, which has been a few years because I'm getting old, my kids are old. When we used to camp there, you guys took the camping money. Fair Board doesn't get the camping money, but yet they have to pay the full power bill when they're there.
Highest.
So how does that work? Can you guys all explain that to me? I mean, you guys take the camping money. That's quite a bit of money during that week because I don't know if the campgrounds is ever full really any other time. It used to get full when you guys had ball games and stuff there. I don't know why the ball diamond was ever taken out of there because you guys used to pack people in there for ball games and stuff and you guys had different sports. But one of the other things I want to bring up is this isn't just us adults having a problem with this. If you guys have been on Facebook, you know, I have a young teenager that I read her comment, and if I cry, I apologize. I get a little emotional. Being I have kids that were involved in 4-H, I was involved in 4-H. This young lady has just got into her teenage years, and I'm not going to say a name because it's not my child. However, she's on Facebook, and it says on here, why are you guys taking this away from us kids? We make friendships at the fairgrounds. All these events are here for us kids. We work hard with our animals just to take them to the Alpena County Fairgrounds. Not allowing us to make our event is not worthy of us as children. if you haven't noticed, there's an aplex where these events could take place. By not allowing 4-H kids to use the fairgrounds, you are taking away a place where my kids, my friends and I have learned to feed the world. 4-H has done. We have livestock and that feeds the world. Notice this is a kid because it's a little discombobulated. But I mean, this is a kid that's voicing her opinion on Facebook. She's worried about this too. How are you guys not worried about this? Like, and I'm gonna go back to Cindy talked about 4-H horse camp. I went to 4-H horse camp. I'm gonna tell you something. There's one thing that I remember from 4-H horse camp, which a leader probably can't do anymore.
You're up. Just go ahead and finish up.
But there's one thing that I learned from that 4-H horse camp that I wish that those leaders could still do today. My 4-H leader put me in the back of a horse trailer and she took us around the track to show us what it feels like to be a horse in that trailer. I'm gonna tell you something. If I was a horse, I sure wouldn't get in there. Because I'm telling you, you gotta lean, you gotta go. That is the best lesson I ever learned, because let me tell you what, when I drive now, I stop way in advance. I let off the gas.
It's almost done.
Okay, I appreciate it. And I just really hope you guys are listening to your community. Thank you.
Dude, we also picked up the search for these. They didn't have to. So we did move money around to do that.
My name's Tiffany Lane, Maple Ridge Township resident, past 4-H'er. Been here a couple of times now. Somebody just asked me a question regarding, we just had Reborn Rescue in here, which is a phenomenal organization. You asked for their financials. You asked for transparency. Where is the transparency in the financials for Blackwater and for our community? That's all.
It's in the room. Anybody else online?
Yes.
Were you going? Okay.
Can everyone hear me?
Wait a minute, we got one more person at the podium. Hang on 1 second.
Hi, my name is Karen Wachowski. I live in Alpena. And I'm so disappointed. This is the first time I have ever come to a commissioners meeting or any meeting for our county or the city. And I'm very mad at myself for not coming sooner. This is such a bad decision on all of you to try to slip this through people without people noticing. I'm very nervous up here because I just can't believe what I was reading on Facebook about what was going on with our county fairgrounds that was gifted to you. I wasn't in 4-H, but I grew up on Sobel Street. Every summer, you know, we went to the fair, and the best part of the fair was going to see all the animals. All of them. And we had horse racing, the whatchamacallit things. And it was, you know, harness racing. See, I'm not a farmer. But the property is a beautiful piece of property, and I could see why a company would want to try to lease it for whatever, not actually benefiting the citizens of the county, because it's all just going to benefit the funding for the county, which takes away all the happiness and joy of the citizens that come every year. They do go camping. The bike path is there. And one thing, if this thing doesn't go through, or if this thing doesn't happen, they start and they come up with obstacles or whatever, and all the citizens of the Alpena County are gonna have to dig deeper in their pockets. Well, that just doesn't fly. That's not common sense. It's not common sense at all. And as far as the drinking license, alcohol, whatever, that is the last thing we need on a piece of property that large in the city of Alpena. It's a bad idea. We got enough problems with drugs. People getting arrested every day, 9, 10 people in the jail for drugs. And alcohol and driving while under the influence. Is that what you guys want to do, is bring more of that to Alpena? And as far as our streets,
Karen, your time.
okay, as far as our streets, they're they got potholes everywhere. And I'm just very disappointed in all of you. You just look at the bottom line right there is the money coming in and not what's good for our city streets, our citizens. Thank you.
I didn't submit a card, but can I?
Go ahead.
Somebody already know my name. Yvonne Johnson. I live in Alpena Township, and I actually want to share the email that I sent to Commissioner Peterson because I had thought that maybe there would be some comment or discussion about that correspondence that had been sent to our commissioners. And I know I haven't received a message back yet, but I'm hoping that I will. So I said that I was writing to urge you to reject the Blackwaters Northeast contract. I welcome responsible, transparent development that fits our community's needs. I was excited at first about the idea of a project that was coming to Alpena. But I don't believe that this project fits the bill as responsible, transparent development. The lack of early transparency, the artificial sense of urgency. Oh, the deadlines have already happened. And the lack of specifics about are some of the chief problems that I see beyond my concerns about the impact on the neighbors, the impact on the sanctuary, and the impact on our county infrastructure. I've attended your meetings and raised a few of my questions and concerns about the project before. I've listened to others from the community, including the Fair Society and 4-H, and they've expressed their concerns and asked questions. I do not feel that I've been heard or that my questions have been answered adequately. And the Fair Society vote tells us that that's how they feel too. They're not very satisfied. The ongoing opposition to the project is another indication that we can't expect Blackwaters East to successfully launch and manage this proposed project. Think about this. It's almost nonsensical to believe that the same people who couldn't sell the idea of this project to our community, that they're somehow going to successfully draw thousands of people or even tens of thousands of people to events in Alpena. That it just doesn't make sense. So I do thank you for your time and thank you for considering my input. I appreciate it.
Anybody else in the room? Well, we can only limit it to, go ahead.
Thank you. My name is John Martin, Sanborn Township. Question for all of you. How much money did you put into the horse barn when you built the horse barn? Anybody? Anybody? Zero. Done by the fair board through fundraisers. The hog barn? Zero. Done by the fair board. Why don't you give the fair board a chance to take this over and address some of the safety concerns like cracked concrete? Go down the steps, there's cracked concrete. It's chicken stuff. Give the fair board a shot at it. What's wrong with that? What do you got to lose? What do you have to lose? Blackwater and a whole bunch of money? You don't need the money. They're doing the job. $6,000 in a hole for power and stuff like that, they could raise that in a week. You don't think so? Try them. all I got to say. Thank you.
Last call for the room. Come on up.
My name is Mary Beth Stutzman. I'm a resident of Alpena County, Maple Ridge Township. I would just like to know what is going to be done about the county employees whose jobs were threatened during this process.
Okay, and I saw a hand raised online.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So my name is Nicole. I'm a resident of Alpena County, and I have been my entire life. To be honest, this is the first topic that has solely grabbed me and my attention to pay attention to the board meetings. Why now? Why would you approve something for the growth of this town now? I'm over 30 years old, and I have experienced one thing after another being turned down for our youth. My whole life, one thing after the next to keep kids here, to keep kids out of trouble. I didn't grow up on the best side of town, but I went to school with some very smart people that have grown up to be very successful. Some of my classmates, sorry for my infant in the background, have not been so lucky. They've fallen into drugs, gotten in trouble, legal matters, my whole life, starting in 3rd grade. Having things for our youth to have an outlet to go to is very important in this community. And as I see things being turned down one by one, it concerns me. However, Blackwater concerns me more. I am not for Blackwater, though it did intrigue my thoughts as I am a concert goer myself. It is not right for our community. In my point of view, it would only create more problems, as it has with the hidden agenda that's thus far been laid out to our community. Another one of my concerns is, why is the Alpena News stating that Blackwater is bringing these events like Extreme Sports World Series to Northern Michigan if this deal hasn't even went through yet? One of the members of Blackwater shared a video on April 12th regarding wind turbines and being in Posen, that solar energy wind farms were not the answer. I know this is not the exact topic, but just hear me out. In the video, it goes back and forth on a company offering more and more money. $500K, $1 million, $3 million. The landowner states each time his land is not worth that money. One of the last things that said in the video is, you want to know what my dad said before he passed? The buyer states that land is just land. You can buy more at any time. What's the big deal? The guy states, this is not just land to us. It's legacy. And that's what your community members, your fair board members, your 4-H members, and concerned citizens have told you since they found out about this project. Just recently, though, not a year ago like you guys have. Doesn't that sound familiar? Like the situation we're in now? So much, like I said, has been turned down for youth. Having that fairgrounds, though, was always an outlet. We looked forward to the fair every year, seeing the animals, being involved, field trips. Instead, though, my whole life, we've turned down things for youth and proposed the additions targeting the elderly. Why such a quick yes to this Blackwater when everything else seems to be turned down or lengthened out? Our community doesn't have the means to support that large of a venue as well. I have children now and would love for them to grow up at the fair like I did. Like I said, every year looking forward to that small town community, mom and pa, your safe place that you can enjoy for years to come. I would love for my children to feel that same way. I agree that the fairgrounds needs some work, and I'm sure the community can pull together and make the situation better for this community all around. Please, as I ask you today, is the first time speaking out at a meeting, I am not a public speaker, to listen to your people, listen to your constituents, listen to this community that is voting for you. Be transparent and be honest with us. We're not asking for a lot. We're asking for you to hear us out, be honest with us, and be open. Trust your fair board, trust your community. Please, let's remain a community where we can work together, our board, township leaders, with its community members who are voted on by us.
Nicole, I'm sorry, your time is up.
Can I just finish one last sentence?
If you could, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Just work with us as community members who are voted on by us to make it a community where we can trust the leaders we elect to do what's best for the community and ones who listen thoroughly to our concerns, not just a paycheck that might be padding their pockets. Thank you for your time.
Okay, so we're going to close public comment.
I have a comment. I would like to make a statement.
Closing public comment.
Okay.
So since we're at the end of the meeting, normally ask if you have any final comments before we close.
I would like to make a statement. I appreciate everyone coming out to give us their opinion. And I've been to several meetings now over the last several months where we have been attended by people that are against the project. I have reviewed all the documents. I've absorbed as much as I can. But I also have received an email. I received an email, maybe from the gentleman that said that they polled 1,500 people in the county or the city.
179 plus 142.
And that there was 90% of this 1,500 that was against it. My district in the city has 3,000 registered voters. The city of Alpena has 8,000 registered voters. I have a small circle in my life. And my circle is small. The people that have contacted me have all been for it. They've had questions, they've had issues, and I've asked them to read the contracts. So, and all I've seen is that I've asked them to come to meetings, but nobody comes to meetings. So my plan is that I will be canvassing my district. I want to talk to people face to face. I don't want any more of this keyboard warrior stuff. Is that I want to get a feeling of what people, my voters, I had over 1,000 people vote for me. I want to get a feeling of what my voters feel because I've been accused of not listening to my voters. So I will be out canvassing and I'll be asking face to face and I'll be asking people to come to a meeting to give their opinion.
Or put that ballot.
Okay. Public comment is done. So anything else? So I'm just going to make a statement as well. And I'm not asking for interaction, but I wrote down some stuff as we went through here to make clarifications for some of the comments that were made. So first thing was, well, and this is just when I picked them up. County commissioners meetings have always been at 1 p.m., 9:30. So anybody that says that we're holding meetings, at different times so people can't come. And I'll be honest with you, the only reason we do have night meetings is because of me. When I originally was working a full-time job, I just felt like we needed more people. Granted, we have a 5:30 meeting at night. We normally don't have this many people. So one of the things that has always I've been told is, why do we even bother having night meetings? We have night meetings to allow people to come, but then the same thing could happen to the night meetings. People that work nights can't come. So my point is that the commissioners have never done anything to secretly hold meetings to try to avoid people from being able to come. You go back. I've been a commissioner for 9 years. Those meetings have always been 1 p.m. and 9:30 in the morning. Kickback for commissioners, which kind of is comical. Look at what a commissioner makes, then go out and look at what we're having our bank account. I would be more than willing to show you my bank account. I'm getting no kickback from this, and none of the other commissioners are getting a kickback. The comment that the decision has already been made. The decision hasn't been already made because we originally had a contract that was signed. I signed for the original contract prior to the Fair Board meeting. That was the only contract that was signed. So for anyone to say that this decision has already been made, the contract is signed, is not true. As far as the land being gifted, I've heard that so many times. The land was gifted. The biggest parcel of land, which includes the grandstands and the track, was not gifted. It was owned by the Alpena Agricultural Society back in 1901. Alpena County purchased it and paid $2,581 for Section 5, which is the largest portion. There are some pieces of that property that are smaller sections that may have been donated. I have all the contracts, or rather deeds on that. But to say that the land was gifted, we, in that one piece, section 5, and I'm sure you know this, Courtney, that piece says for, we would dedicate at least a week, 7 days for a county fair. But, you know, just to make sure people understand, that land was not all gifted for other pieces or other priorities or other options. The county paid for that back in 1901. Someone made a comment about reaching out. So I did reach out. I did call Florida Federation for Fairs and Livestock. And I talked to the head guy there, and I asked him, this is probably about a month ago, about Jason Atwell, Blackwater. And I did reach out to each one of the commissioners in Florida, and I've still not heard back from anybody in Florida. I contacted their Board of Commissioners office and asked them for information, and I've not received it. So, you know, I don't know if anybody else has been doing that, but, you know, to say that none of us are doing any research is false. Facebook, I just want to make a point that absolutely the worst place to go get your information, because you can't believe 90% of, and I get myself in trouble, and I'm going to admit this here publicly. I get myself in trouble because I go for a long time and I try not to say anything. And then I say one thing and then it's deemed as condescending, which I didn't mean to come off condescending when I put that post out there the other day. But I'm just telling you, Facebook is the absolute worst place to get your information. You know where the best place to get your information is? One of these Board of Commissioners here. And I will say, someone said something, nobody talks to anybody. Before this meeting this morning, I had a meeting with 2 individuals that asked to meet. So I'm always willing, and I put that out there. I've said numerous times, contact me and I'd be more than willing to sit down, have you go over the stuff. I don't have a problem with that. I can't do it every day though, but you know, we can make arrangements. And then just one more comment, 2 more comments. There is a difference between the city and the county. We don't really focus on the roads. The city does. So if you got a problem with the roads, you need to call the city. They'll fix any road that you want. So just get it on their list. Emails sent. If you have sent me an email, and I'm going to be honest with you, I spent a lot of my this weekend responding to emails. So if I hadn't gotten to everybody, which I guarantee I know I haven't gotten to everybody, I will get to you. The ones that I don't respond to is I'm against the fair, vote no. I mean, there's nothing really to respond. If you've asked me, I talked to Cindy, I've talked to several people this weekend replying to emails. I think I've talked to you as well, Stacy, right?
You did send me an email a while ago.
So I've talked
You're
to.
the only commissioner that actually responded to my.
I tried to, and I will say that I've been inundated with emails along with all the other stuff. So, and I'm probably admitting my faults here, but I always work from the top down. And so if all that stuff keeps coming in, you get pushed further down. I try to go back and look, but I just wanted to say that, you know, some of the stuff that I've heard today, and I'm not asking for reply back because I don't want us to be here for another 2 more hours, but I just wanted to make a comment on some of the statements that I've heard today that I didn't think, or I think needed to be corrected. So that's all I have. Is there anything else from anybody else?
I responded to your text message, Stacy.
You responded to my text, you did not respond. To
I didn't respond to the email, that's correct.
You have responded to my text.
So I'm going to point of clarification on that. I respond to most of the emails, but I don't necessarily do it in a timely manner. The second thing is, I don't respond to hostile voice messages left on the commissioner's office phone line. I'm not going to play that game, and I'm not on social media, so.
Just to clarify, that was not me.
No, it wasn't. It was male. It was a male voice.
Well, I haven't responded to emails because I'm trying to come up with a good response. Can I get half and half?
We appreciate you guys all listening to us, and I really appreciate your response today, saying that you're gonna go out in the community. We appreciate
I mean, I took the criticism, so I thought I need to do that. So
we appreciate
it.
Okay, so any last things?
I'm just gonna throw some information out. Nick did get back to me right away after our last meeting. We had 57 units in winter storage last year, And that was $23,615, which was up a little bit from the year prior, which just for the record is less than half of what we were anticipating.
So 23,000.
Power bill's about $4,000 a month.
Well, it's 30.
If you're charging too much and you could get, them should be filled because every other boat storage place is.
We have some vehicles in there.
We're right in line.
Are you done, Travis?
Yeah, I'm done. In fact, I'm going to rush before we have something else to talk about.
Okay, any last comments before we close? What's that?
I would like to
Okay,
say
go ahead.
something. I was scared to say anything. I'm gonna get trashed. But anyway. First of all, you mentioned something about this is political. And I'd like to say, he didn't make it political. But I see where whoever, I don't know who did it, but they invited the Democratic Party to join you. Why didn't you invite the Republican Party? I mean, we're there also. And I was going to mention, we don't do streets, the city streets, but John already done that. And then also about drinking at the fairgrounds. I know that there's a lot of drinking during fair time. I mean, everybody runs around not in the right mind, and I know that. I know that. That's a fact. And also, I'd like to say, there is drinking in town. They allow it. You can get drinks and walk around town and drink. So, yeah. Okay, and also I'd like to say that I listened a lot about horses today. I mean, a lot. I'm scared to death of horses, but I understand you love your horses. I don't have a problem with that. But what about the kids? They weren't mentioned very much. And then also about fixing up the fairgrounds. If you knew it needed fixing up, and one gentleman said they could raise $6,000 a week, why ain't you raising the money to fix it up? Why don't you help the county? You know, and it's really sad, really, really sad that we have to have this, even a discussion, because this should have been, and I'll say the county too should have been helping. I'm not gonna say it's all of you. But it's sad that something like this has to happen to wake everybody up and say, hey, let's work together. Let's get this done. And now there's such a long list of what has to be fixed. We don't have the money. You don't have the money. Maybe if we all work together, we can have some money. We can start little and make it big. But now, I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know how this board is going to decide. I can't tell everybody, well, you have to vote this way. Everybody's here, they all have their own mind of what they want. But it's good that you came forward when you did. No, we're not hiding anything behind anybody's back. No contracts have been signed, but that one, and it don't mean nothing. So now we have a huge decision that we have to make. And I say we, talking about the board. If you think this is easy to be a county commissioner, why haven't any of you stepped up and put in to be a county commissioner? I've been here, it's gonna be 12 years, I think, at the end.
You've been down.
9 years, probably 12 years.
Yep.
That John and I and Bill have been here. Why don't you step up and give us a break? Because if nobody steps up to do it, well, of course, we're gonna put our name back in there. Somebody's gotta do the job. It's not easy. It's not easy to sit here and have people call us names, say we're lazy, down Jesse so bad. You know what? If it wasn't for Jesse, we wouldn't have a damn dime in our budget. Jesse comes in and got us going on the right track. Out of all the administrators we had, he did it. So I can't say enough about Jesse. And as far as myself, really down on me pretty bad. I always thought I was kind of a nice person, but I guess I say too much. You know what? I say it because I mean it. And I'd rather say it to your face than on Facebook or behind your back, because I don't put nothing on Facebook. That's all I got to say.
Okay, any,
Make a motion, we adjourn.
okay, we got a motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Same sign.